Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play TerraFirmaCraft. My name is Cilantro. I need to increase the height of my house, which I kind of don't want to. It's the only way my windows are going to work, so we're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. I did do a little bit of work off camera. I consolidated, retrimmed my food, and threw it all into barrels. Apparently a sealed container helps mitigate the decay. I'm really thinking that next season, after the winter, I want to get a big industry set up for finally making like pickles and other preservation techniques. One that'll allow me to save a lot of time on growing food in the first place, if I can preserve it better. And it'll also result in, it'll be a little bit more upfront micromanagement, because I'll obviously have to, get the infrastructure set up and then start making the pickles. But it'll ultimately save me in micromanagement because I won't have to trim my food as often. Because the thing about decay is that if you let it stockpile, if you let it build up too much too quickly, it will, the rot then accumulates even faster. So you have to kind of stay on top of it, or your food's just going to start spoiling at a very rapid rate. I haven't determined exactly when the best, I guess I need some more wood. What the best balance of time is in terms of how often I should be trimming the food. I kind of do it pretty aggressively right now, and I've got plenty, so I mean I probably don't really need to. But that's something I just gotta, I gotta get worked out. So let's grab some more of my willow logs, which I have plenty of, thankfully. And I've been reading you guys' comments, which I appreciate all the discussion. It really makes me feel all warm and fuzzy when I see you guys are talking about what's been going on and such. And I think I am going to need to go pretty far that way in order to get sugar cane. Somebody had told me, and I haven't verified it yet, not that I don't believe you, but I like to make sure I'm well informed as best I can. Somebody told me that it's this direction, it's the X direction. Oh, actually, yeah, if it is the X direction, it would actually be this way then. Oh, never mind. Somebody told me it was the X direction that dictates the equator. Because there is actually an equator. Yeah, I had been mistaken. So, yeah, which seems a little weird if it's east-west. But apparently closer to 0 is where the more warm temperatures are. So if I head that way, there's a chance I may run into some sugarcane, assuming it does grow only in warmer climates, which I'm pretty sure it does. Good thing I grab more of these. So that's something I will have to look a little bit more into. Not that I'm opposed to exploring. I mean, I will do it, and I have the time to do it. But that's something I'm going to have to keep an eye out for. Oh, almost missed my little island right here. There we go. And let me drop off here so I don't take any damage. Yeah, I think it looks a little nicer. I think it looks a little nicer being a little bit more on the tall side. For sure. I do need to go grab some more of the stone to make that. And I feel like I'm kind of ready to build a roof now. Yeah, I really need to do that. But yeah, I went ahead and put everything into sealed barrels, which hopefully will help stave off the decay. You can see all of them still have a little bit of decay. It's such a pain. It wouldn't be nearly as much of a pain. Actually, I wonder even if I even need to. I may not even need to put them in the ceramic vessels. That may actually not even be helping at all. And if it's not, that'll help me save time on keeping them organized. You know what I mean? But otherwise, for now, it works fine. Oh, berries are done. Nice. But, actually, I'm kind of feeling a little froggy. Maybe I'll do a little bit of exploring right now. I mean, I've got the whole winter to do construction. I might as well do a little bit more exploring while the weather is still decent. First things first, I want to make some sandwiches. I already have 2 sandwiches, but it'd be nice to get a couple more here, just to make sure I got plenty of food for my trip. Yeah, cooking skills getting up there. I still should probably be cooking all of my food, and all my nutrient categories are becoming a lot more. Let me cut off all the decay real quick. And all my nutrient categories are starting to fill up finally. So let's do our grain, which we're running out of bread actually. Soybeans, carrots, and we'll do cranberries and cherries. There we go. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay. My food all organized here. Put this stuff back into its containers. There we go. Munch on this sandwich. So, yeah, 1232. I'm not exactly sure what the cap is for my hit points. And if that keeps going up or not. I had read that it was 1,000. That your hit points actually cap out at 1,000. But I don't know if that's accurate anymore. Also, the other day, actually before I go out, and yeah, of course the rest of the berries are done as well. So I might as well harvest those. The other day, one of my water jugs broke. Which has a very rare chance of happening. But it can happen. So that was a little unfortunate. So now I'm a little light on you know my stored water supply. So I think I'm gonna actually spend some time baking another water vessel before I go. Yeah, that way I can just in case I don't run into fresh water for a while, that way I've got plenty of water. So I'm gonna go do that and get the rest of my supplies around, figure out what I'm taking and what I'm not on my journey, and we were going to head off in that direction and see what we can find. All right, I have gotten everything together. I decided I'm just going to take everything. Well, mostly everything. Chisels in case I find some really cool blocks. Actually, I need a hammer. Let me go grab a hammer real quick. Forgot about that. Chisels in case I find any really cool blocks. I have my scythe in case I want to harvest any saplings that I might run into. My axe to chop down trees. Really just pretty much everything. Bringing my saw as well in case I want to make some extra boats. In case my my boat breaks and all that sort of stuff. Planks. I'm carrying some ladders, some torches, and a lot of food and all of my freshly made water jugs. Because why not? There's literally no reason not to just bring all this stuff. The biggest resource investment is my armor. And if I die and lose my armor, that sucks. But I would rather use my armor to protect valuable tools that will be useful in gathering resources rather than not. It just makes sense to me if I'm gonna take my armor, which I am, that I might as well use that armor to protect not only myself but the tools that I will need to earn any cool rewards and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully I have enough food. I should be fine. I have 5 sandwiches, and I can always pick seaweed or kill local wildlife if I run into any of it. So yeah, we're just taking off here. Hopefully I'm actually kind of hoping I stay on the water for a decent amount of time before hitting land. That way I can get further and further without having to start trekking through actually dangerous territory. But I guess we'll see. There's a cool little underwater lit area. Always makes me wonder what those are. I always like being on a boat. I'm anxious to see how the boat changes are in 1.9. I believe that they're making it so that you can actually carry a passenger with you, and that there's oars on the boat, which is kind of fascinating too. Make sure I'm not shifting too far to... There we go. I'll make sure I'm heading just straight in the direction. Wow. Definitely getting my wish. All right, I'll be back when there's something cool happening. All right, landfall. We are 3166 out, so we're still not super close to 0, but we've definitely moved quite a bit. And still have a decent amount of daytime to do a little bit of exploring, so that's good. It didn't seem to be any major bio change. It does look like I might be able to actually go around this area if I so desire. Which I might. Oh, that's really cool. Look at that. That's a really high up lava pool. And that's some really cool looking rock. I wonder if I can snag one of those without getting burnt. See what kind of rock that is. Maybe not. What if let's just take a risk here. This is granite. Ooh. Is granite one of them that I need for... Granite might be one of them that I need for fire clay. One moment. Nope, it's graphite. Not granite, graphite. Definitely a different thing. Ooh, this place is extraordinarily dangerous. This is really high up here. I might just hop back on my boat and see if I can go around. It looked like there may have been more sort of watery ocean as opposed to a non-watery ocean over around that direction, so I can always do that. Especially since this isn't a new biome. If this was a new biome style, I would probably continue on foot. But for now, I think I want to stay to the water, so my movement is a lot faster. So, yeah, let's see what else we can find. I ran into some more pheasants here. And I believe you can actually pluck feathers from them. Yeah, if you hold shift and right click, you get a feather, which is kind of cool. I've got some mobs here to deal with. Ow. I'm not actually sure if the regular game crits work in this mod. So I may not actually need to jump for each of these. I know this actually does hurt them quite a bit. No, you come back here and you get plucked and you like it. I don't want to necessarily kill them. But I might as well pluck what I can. God, dang, so many zombies. This is probably due to the replicating nature of zombies nowadays. But anytime I run into these things, I should probably... Oh, I killed it. Give me a lot of feathers, at least. That's alright, there's still one male, one female, so... I don't know if you can actually breed pheasants or not. These are pretty far away from my house. I mean, not like a terribly super long distance, but far enough away that it's not really that worth it. But really, the feathers are kind of the limiting factor in how many arrows I can make, and it'd be nice to switch over to arrows instead of javelins. That way I can save some more inventory space. Potentially even use, instead of a quiver when I'm going exploring, use a barrel, because barrels have a lot more storage capacity, which would be nice. Make sure I don't accidentally get hit and get my boat destroyed. That would be bad. Double check that we're going in the right direction. It's good enough. All right. Wow, it is really dark. Well, let's see what else we run into. All right. I have been sailing for a pretty decent amount of time, and we are at X0, basically. Kind of interesting, and that's where we ended up. So I think in order to continue our journey, we're going to stay at X0, and I want to, or roughly at X0, if I can get my directions balanced out. We're going to start heading to Z0. Come on. Oh, wait. Oh, no, wait. It's hard to tell exactly where the balance is. Kind of funny. Oh. You can do it. Anyway, it's not really super important that I stay exactly at 0. We're going to head off in the Z direction for a little bit and see what we run into. Hey, I may not even run into anything. It may just be a bunch of empty ocean. But the temperature has actually increased a little bit. I forgot to check exactly what it was, but you can tell that the temperature is going up. And it may not have actually been going up before. Oh, there just dropped. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh, must be. I'm probably crossing the border between a few different chunks here, which is very possible. But I feel like the temperature has been increasing, more so going in this direction, which makes a little bit more sense. I think whoever had commented may have been slightly off in their assessment of which direction to go. I mean, 'cause in real life, south and north, that's the direction for increasing your temperature, more or less, heading closer to the equator, at least. not east-west. Doesn't mean it's the same way in the game. But it is interesting to me that it seems like my temperature is increasing a lot more going in this direction than it did in the east-west direction. But anyway, we'll get that figured out. I'll let you know when we come upon something cool. And with the first fingers of light, actually I guess the last fingers of light disappearing over the horizon, we find some sugar cane. Yeah. I break my boat. Where'd my boat go? Well, my boat disappeared. Oh, there it is. Way over there. I love that. And not only some, but a buttload of sugar cane. I've been sailing forever, man. 4,000 units in one direction, 4,000 units in another direction. Or reeds, I guess. I guess they really are reeds. That might be a mod thing, I'm not sure. Oh, boy. Finally. Not only found some, but found a lot. And then, oh my god, I would have just died. Literally just died right there. That would have been really bad. I was trying to be all poetic and stuff. Like, hey, the last fingers of light, or first fingers of light coming over the horizon. Nope. Not cool enough. Oh, I can finally make books. I'm going to grow so much of this stupid crap. What kind of dirt do we have here? This looks new. You are chert. Okay. Okay. I will take it with a grain of salt that chert exists. I don't know what chert is, but I've got it. Ermagerd chert. That seems made up. It's probably a real thing, like a real IRL material. Chert. Just seems silly to me. It's actually a good thing that I ran into land too, because my food supply is actually getting a little low. So I'm going to have to do some scavenging for some food while I'm at it. Oh god, no, it feels so extraordinarily dangerous being out this far. I'm just really happy that I finally found some stupid, man, this is a crazy area. Look at that. Looks like the world generation kind of glitched out a little bit, maybe. Tasty. Tasty reads that I have desperately needed. Very desperately needed. I'm really excited to be able to make all the books that I wanted to do. It's going to take me a while. Well, I don't know, maybe not too long. One of them's probably going to be a metal recipe book that will go over the details on how to mix the various alloys that I'm going to want/need. And the others are likely going to be for like smithing recipes. I was originally going to put recipes for like the recipe for how to make leather, but I kind of got that. I don't think it's worth an entire book. Also, somebody in the comments had mentioned that the idea for a workshop for detail blocks is flawed because you can't move detail blocks. That is true. But if I've read correctly, and there's a chance I may not have, but if I've read correctly, you actually can... Are you just flowers? Or Houstonia, which I've got a lot of. If I've read correctly, one thing you... Ooh, is that gold? It might actually be gold. Oh, Jesus Christ, it scared the crap out of me. You can use squid ink and paper to make blueprints. And I believe you can use those blueprints to copy over detail blocks. And thus, I can, I think, I'll have to, well, I can actually experiment. I don't have to look it up. I can actually experiment with it now that I've got sugarcane, or reeds, I guess they technically are called. So yeah, there's definitely a chance that I will be able to do that. I don't know if I can affect the rotation of the blocks, which might be a little weird. But I believe I can store them in some sort of a blueprint, essentially. And that will make me extremely happy. I'm going to grab as much of this as I can while I'm here to make sure that I have an excess of it. One other thing I'm kind of interested in is I don't know if I'll even be able to grow this. Like, if it only naturally grows in a certain climate, it makes me wonder if I'll even be able to grow it in my home territory. So we'll see. I mean, I have enough to make 2 books at least, and the rest of it, it's not like it's needed for technological advancement at all. It's not. So that's not really a concern. It was just more that it would be really nice to be able to continue to have a supply of it, just in case, for things like the blueprints, if I so desire. Although bookshelves would be nice, which I believe still exist. I don't know how you make an enchanting table if you can. That would be kind of cool to have an enchanting table. But we have finally successfully obtained the goal of what we had wanted to obtain. I wonder if I should hopefully have enough food to make it back. If not, I can always find a place where there's like sort of a little bit of an underwater island. You know, where the land is raised up a little bit underwater, and I can cut some seaweed there. That'll be fine. All right, so I now need to be increasing X and Z at roughly the same speed. That should be good. Yeah, that's roughly the right angle. All right, time to sail back home. And if I run into anything else, I'll let you know. Land ho! We're about halfway back, 2,000 units in each direction, and I see a preponderance of coal, which I think I might actually harvest, and also some other type of shale. Okay. Still not really what I'm looking for. It would be nice to find, if I ever could find it, the other materials that I need for the fire clay. It's a really big shale gravel area, and a lot of coal too. I don't want to spend too much time here because I'd really like to get back, but I might as well mine some of the exposed coal here. I mean, I can always use some. It always scares the crap out of me. These areas that look like they're on such flimsy ground. You know what I mean? It comes from having played the Super Hostile series from Vex, where oh man. Anytime I see gravel, I just want to panic. It was so commonly used as a method of gotcha. Oh, you were standing on gravel? Well, don't you know gravel technically is affected by gravity, but it doesn't get affected by gravity until there's a block update? You didn't know that? Well, you're boned. I forgot that stuff doesn't really stack either. Yeah, I could get lost mining these huge deposits of coal if I really cared to, but I don't care to. I'll get 2 stacks of the super easy to get stuff, and then that'll be it. Since it only stacks to 16. If I can even reach some of this. Good enough. Some more. It's a little too far up. My boat's right over there. I want to venture in at least a little bit inland to see if I can find any plants. Season-wise, yeah, late autumn. Back to Dunk's birthday again. I don't know who Dunk is, but happy birthday again, Dunk. Pretty steep cliff faces, actually. I'm kind of surprised. Haven't found any easy way up yet. There we go. Pretty cool looking area, though. I like the texture of everything. I haven't run into any, as far as I know at least, I haven't run into any fancy trees. It's something I probably should have tried when I was in that other area where I found my sugar cane, was to chop a tree and see what kind of tree. Ooh, this actually does look different. Sycamore. Okay, so this is a different type. I'm glad that I looked. And let's grab our scythe and grab some sycamore saplings if I can. Not every type of sapling can actually be collected too, which is interesting. It seems to be a very specifically done design decision for whatever reason. Decided that wasn't something that you were always going to be able to get. fascinates me. Yeah, no idea what the planks themselves are actually going to look like for the sycamore. Is that really all the saplings I'm going to be able to get? I guess so. That's fine, though. No big deal. I mean, honestly, as long as I got a couple, there's always a chance. And I can always come back here. I mean, I did F3 it, so I know where this is for future reference. So there's always that. Anyway, time to hop back in my boat, and let's head on home. I'm actually out of time for this episode, so I think I will probably head back on. I mean, there may be some other things I might run into on the way home, so I will wait to do that until next episode. Also, I noticed I actually got a bow at some point. One of those skeletons I killed dropped me a bow. So that's kind of handy. I'll save me a couple string. Not that string's all that rare or anything, but hey, free resources are free resources. Especially in this mod, I will take it. I will conserve every last little bit of resources, any sort of resource that I can, because this can get pretty brutal. That's for sure. But yeah, things are going pretty well in this playthrough. Honestly, I'm still really enjoying myself. I'm having a great time, especially now that I finally got my reads. I can make my books finally, and I'm gonna sail off into the distance and hopefully make my way home here pretty soon. But yeah, thanks again everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.